Hey guys, it's your boy Arj and I'm back with some new heavy Dragon Ball news and theory covering two new possible Saiyans featured in the upcoming Dragon Ball Legends mobile game, along with Charlotte in what appears to be another Tournament of Power, and I will delve deep into how this now more than likely lends even more hints to the origins of the ancient Saiyans we are seeing in both the game and most importantly the upcoming movie. But if you're new here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to enter our PS4 Pro giveaway with a copy of Dragon Ball FighterZ, which ends in only 12 days guys, and one of you subscribers will be picked, so join the gang today. But moving on, before anyone gets confused, by now every Dragon Ball fan knows of the causal link between the Dragon Ball Legends game and the upcoming movie, and that is the reveal of ancient new Saiyans, which will no doubt have a reflection on each other, lore-wise and explanation-wise, regardless of one being non-canon and the other possibly being canon. Since, as we all remember clearly, Broly was introduced in the same way as non-canon, but as we know was explained in a completely plausible way which fit with the canon storyline, and then was later related to the actual canon character Kale. But with that out of the way, let's get right into what's been found here. Straight off the bat, there's been some data mining into the latest game courtesy of Komodo, and on top of verifying the huge range of both game modes and training modes, some of which are pretty interesting like the Royal Palace of Zeno himself, but also the main reveals are of Super Saiyan 4 Goku making an appearance and these two names, Giblet and Zaha. Now, are these ancient Saiyans along with Charlotte? Well, let's look at the main fact here. Do their names follow the same naming convention that we saw on the other Saiyans? And what I mean by this is, are their names named after vegetables just like the rest of the Saiyans, i.e. Raditz, Kakarot and so forth? Well, no. Not in an obvious way at least. But you've heard of the Saiyan Gain, right? The mother of Goku and Raditz? And you've heard of Fasha, right? Another female Saiyan within Bardock's elite force. And you've heard of Shugesh, yet another Saiyan from Bardock's squadron. And you know what, the list goes on. And do any of these sound like vegetables to you, or similar to how Vegeta, Kakarot and so forth resemble vegetable names? No, and that is because in fact there are only so many vegetable puns out there that Akira can come up with, and many of these names that I just mentioned are actually only related to vegetables once translated to various languages, and those languages can be random. And with that information on hand, we know there is every possibility that these very well could be also ancient Saiyans, and their names do not tell us anything really about whether they are Saiyans or not. In fact, as time goes on, these names will probably be translated just like Gain was and Shugesh, and we will find out more information that relates them directly to vegetables or the Saiyans themselves. But what other information is there that these two, or at least one of them, will be Saiyans? Well, we only need to look into the story of the game, which has now leaked somewhat. In the beginning sequence of the trailer, we see a planet explode. And I don't need to beat around the bush with this one, this is planet Sadala, and here's why. For one, the game actually starts with Charlotte being confronted by future Trunks, and he has lost his memory and can only remember how to fight. How Dragon Ball, right? We also find out that strong warriors are actually being brought together from all eras to fight in a tournament, where the winner once again, get ready for it, gets access to Super Dragon Balls. I know, a literal copy of the Tournament of Power, or so it seems. But carry on in the game, it is revealed that Charlotte can actually remember one line by one unnamed figure on that planet, and that figure shouted, "Run Charlotte, save yourself." Now, given that we know Charlotte is in fact wearing Sadala Saiyan armor from the old days before Frieza's rule, as seen in the wiki and described by Vegeta when he first saw Cabba's armor, which is of course extremely similar, and the fact Vegeta has spoken about the Saiyan Civil War before, which resulted in Sadala's destruction, which by the way I have an entire video focusing on explaining everything that you need to check out if you haven't already, we can say 100% that it makes complete plot sense for this game that this planet being destroyed in the very trailer is the same planet from which Shallot comes from, aka Sadala. But what about this mystery other voice from Sadala, aka another Saiyan, which called for Shallot to run? This character was left a mystery in the game opening for a reason, and for sure is going to be revealed at some point, because bringing one Saiyan back is just not going to cut it when the entire direction of Dragon Ball Super right now is facing towards new Saiyans. We saw it all through the Tournament of Power arc, we saw it at the end of the Tournament of Power arc when Vegeta referenced the never-ending limits of Saiyans, and then yet again in the movie, which focused entirely on Saiyans and actually uses the sentence, Saiyans have no limits. Of the two names, Giblet and Zaha, I'm siding more with Giblet being a second Saiyan and Zaha possibly being the hooded figure behind Shallot. But who knows who's even behind that hood really? You have to wonder who would be able to befriend and make Shallot work with him so easily to be standing there right with him. And that sounds more than likely a fellow Saiyan. The final piece of evidence comes in the form of where the names are placed in the data mine code. Coincidentally, they are placed straight bang in the middle of exclusively Saiyan names. But I'll let that speak for itself. But what does this now mean for the Saiyan appearing in the Dragon Ball movie? Well, what it does pretty much lend extreme weight to now is that he is from Sadala, and possibly yet again having been brought to the current timeline either just before or during his explosion, which by the way would have been during the ongoing civil war, meaning he would be in a powered up and angry state as he was just fighting, explaining why when Goku first meets him he's already shrouded in aura and going crazy. Additionally, the fact that Dragon Ball Legends game now may have a second Saiyan or more confirms to me suspicions that the Saiyan we saw in the movie would not be the only one we saw, because honestly, design wise, there isn't much special about him, and his power even when powered up seemingly only matches base form Goku. So we have to wonder, if they're going to bring back a Saiyan, why would they bring back one, and one who's only going to engage Goku? We already know for a fact that the other Saiyans will be featured from Vegeta to Gohan, so that just means there must be at least one other new Ancient Saiyan foe coming to face them, because there's no way in hell some new Ancient Saiyan will be taking on both Goku and Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue form or beyond so soon after that force that was Jiren. And now we know of Giblet and Zaha and the clear view of Sadala being destroyed, there's even more possibility. But yeah guys, that was it for today's theory and analysis video covering the latest news and thinking deeper about them. I hope you enjoyed, but let me know what you think of this pretty much one-to-one copy of the Tournament of Power arc, but just with different eras rather than different universes. And of course the advent possibility of new Saiyans in both the game and the new movie. Let me know down below, but before you guys go, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to enter our PS4 Pro giveaway with a copy of Dragon Ball FighterZ. 12 days left and one of you guys will be picked, so don't miss out and join the gang today. Until next video guys, cheers.